You could think that having a chronic illness is really bad for entrepreneur, but actually I would say that it can be a really good thing. On short term, here, today, this week, this month, it's really bad thing because you just don't have energy to work on things. But long term, I believe it will make you better entrepreneur because it forces you to learn few important lessons. Hello, my name is Joel Hakala. I'm a Finnish online entrepreneur, currently living here in Las Palmas. I run with my co-founder an online course business which is selling 3 million euros per year. Online courses, if you are interested, you can check more about our business. Here's the website link. And in this video, we will go through 4 lessons that I was forced to learn through my chronic illness. But the good thing is like you can learn this without having chronic illness and it will make you a better entrepreneur. So first up, little bit context. What do I mean by chronic illness? What the chronic illness I have? What I have is called CIRS, chronic inflammatory response syndrome. Every 4th person has some genetics that makes your immune system susceptible to certain biotoxins. Example, for me, I have had mold exposure. I have lived in a place where has been mold, and I have a gene which makes me susceptible for mold. The immune system is unable to get rid of the biotoxins. They build up in the system. Your immune system tries to fight them, but is unable, so you get stuck in the chronic inflammation cycle. And the shitty thing here is like it affects your whole body, the brain, all your intestine, your mitochondria, your body's energy production, and there can be all kind of symptoms. For entrepreneur, these are the number 3 things. Cognitive thing, I'm like more stupid than normally. Mood, I just don't feel like doing things. I get stuck in this stress mode. I see more threats and negative things than there actually is, and then just don't have energy to do things. Now, from here we can get to the lesson number 1, which is energy. Most entrepreneurs are time constrained, and entrepreneurs are always like, if I just would have that 1 extra hour, I could do amazing things. I'm like, I have time, I don't have energy. I've been tracking lately how much I work, the kind of work where I'm in front of computer, and on a good day I pull 4 or 5 hours. Throughout the whole week, the average has been somewhere like 4 hours. I'm not time constrained. I have more time available, but most of the time I just don't have the energy or my head is not really working and so on. So how does this make you a better entrepreneur? When you start to think through energy, you start to think about, how much energy does it take? There are certain things that are easier for me to do, don't take so much energy. There are things that take more energy. I start to plan my calendar with the mindset of like, hey, where do I need to take breaks? If I would be thinking just through time, I wouldn't be making the best possible decision about how to plan my calendar, what to do, what things to commit to and what not to. So that's number 1 thing, starting to think through terms of energy more than just money or time, because everything else is easier even to arrange than the energy itself that you need to take action. Number 2 is being forced to rely on other people. As entrepreneurs, it feels harder to delegate some things to other people because then there's always this like, they're not doing it exactly how I would want to. I need to teach them. It feels so much easier to do it yourself. But then you become bottleneck in your business. If I would be still really hands-on in the actual like all production of every video and every landing page, what I would be focused on most of the time is like, how do we improve? And our limit would be that I cannot just do more work. But now, because I'm not so much hands-on in everything, I can think in big things like, okay, what's the thing that enables us to grow 10x? What's the thing that enables us to go international? So going into the big lever things where you can make bigger impact versus being stuck working 12 hours doing the smaller little details that won't actually move the needle forward that much. Then 3rd point, being anti-fragile. So if you have not heard this concept before, it basically means what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. If something happens to us but it doesn't break us, we learn from that, we can adapt. So in business, it could be that you make a sales campaign, it's really bad, you are freaked out that you almost went bankrupt, but if you don't go bankrupt, you can learn from that and start to figure out like, okay, we need to make sure, somehow test every campaign in a way that we know sure for this works. Or we need to have more reserves in our bank accounts that we can have a bad month and not stress and freak out. So that's a basic example. What this means for a person with chronic illness. I don't know how I will be tomorrow, next week, next month. next year. So I cannot plan running our business. I cannot even be sure, am I in the right spot tomorrow, next week, or next month, or next year to make good decisions because my headspace and my cognitive function is affected by this. Or my mood, what I'm excited about this week, next week, I might feel like, oh, this is totally shit, I don't want to do this again. So I need to plan in a way of that I might even be involuntarily sabotaging my business or my entrepreneurship. Then I am kind of forced to create an anti-fragile way of working, anti-fragile business, where if something bad things happens, I have already been planning for those things. Whereas most entrepreneurs just like go gas on the pedal, yeah, let's grow. And at some point something bad will happen, whether it's for the business or in your personal life or something, and suddenly you realize like, oh, it might be bad also for the business growth, where you had to take 3 steps back because you had one bad month, because you didn't have the flexibility to absorb a mistake you made. 4th lesson, most things don't really matter. I have had so many times when I have just had to have like that day where I'm like, I'm not working today. There's some emails waiting, I'm not gonna answer those today. There's some things that absolutely feels like should be done this week, but like I haven't done them and nothing bad has happened. Is it optimal? No, but it's so easy to be in this like, oh, I got notification, I need to immediately check this thing. Oh, I have these emails, I need to, answer these all things now. And then when you're forced to have those days when you're like, okay, I need to put my recovery first, you realize like nothing bad happened. Nothing bad happened. I didn't respond to that person immediately. Nothing bad happened. I didn't do that thing this week, it went to next week. Nothing bad happened other than maybe our growth slowed a little bit, which is not like a bad thing. Sometimes it might be even a good thing that you're not growing too fast. We easily have this like, I need to be on top of everything, note everything that's happening, and most of the things are not so important. So you learn that most people and most things won't break if they're not attended to immediately. So then I can example chill while I'm walking at the beach without being glued to my screen or notifications or pulling way too long work days just because I feel pressure to finish certain tasks, which actually weren't that important in the first place. Then Kami asked like, how about like the personal experience side? Like, how do I feel about it? How does it feel to be an entrepreneur with chronic illness? Absolutely fucking sucks. I would love to just do things and build things and just like work every day, but like not happening right now. 20-year-old is like working like something like 12 hours a day, full of excitement, full of energy, building his business. And I'm so jealous that he's able to do that. There's this feeling of not good enough. I have some kind of mental standard or bar I would like to hit, then I'm comparing myself to it. It doesn't make any sense, but it's really hard to let go of that. I have already readjusted it to at least to some level, but there's still more work to do with that. And also with the chronic illness, when it affects like the cognitive side and the mood, how it affects the self-confidence, your self-identity. I just had a conversation with my business partner in the past 2 days. He asked like, is everything okay? Like, how's your health? How's your like relationship? Is everything okay? And then I like reflected about it for a moment and I answered like, yeah, you are right. Like, yeah, everything's not okay. I've not been so good lately in the past couple of weeks. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm not in a good mental headspace, my feelings right now, so I see more negative things than there actually is. Or like, think about an elderly person who starts to have problems with memory. They might be really ashamed that they might not remember where their things are. They might be afraid of leaving the house because they are like, if I leave the house, did I forget my phone or keys inside? I feel that similar experience in a way of like, I don't know, can I really trust my like cognitive capacity, my mood, and then will I end up in situations like in the past 2 days where I was like saying certain things to my business partner, and then later on I felt ashamed that, oh fuck, it was probably just like this like chronic illness talking, and that's really not a good feeling. There are these kind of things which come with that, and yeah, what I can say, it sucks. Question for you. If you would find out today that your health has dropped into half what it is and you have a chronic illness and there's no quick cure or fix for that, what would you do so you or your business won't die but actually will thrive.